Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Today is August 3rd, 2023, and we are getting into the volume 141 of me answering your immigration related questions. Before starting, I'm going to mention I am not an immigration attorney. This is not a legal advice. All the information provided in these videos on this channel are directly from official government sources like USCS and of course Department of State with their Visa Bulletin. Also, I wanted to mention I'm very sorry that I have been out for now a week or so. I had some difficult times that I have been dealing with, but hopefully now we'll be back to every day or at least every other day answering your immigration related questions. So let's start with the very first question from Kills J. Kills J, thank you very much for another comment and thank you for being publicly subscribed. Really appreciate it. I've been watching your video last April and May 2023 and you said that the Visa Bulletin will move for the next couple of months. But until now, August 2023, there is no movement, most specifically F2B category Philippines, yes. Why? When to move the Visa Bulletin? Kills J, thank you very much for your question. Yes, I did say that. And honestly, I'm not 100% sure what is going on with the Visa Bulletin. It's been really unpredictable. The reason why I was saying that we should be seeing some dramatic movement, and we did see some movement on F1 category, we did see some movement for the graph B on the Visa Bulletin, but overall it has been pretty bad. Honestly, the movement has been really bad. I expected way better from the Visa Bulletin, and the reason why I did expect it is because we had some unnatural, artificial backlog that was accumulating from the time during the pandemic when the embassies were closed and no immigrant visas were issued to immigrants. Once we opened up, I thought, well, since we opened up, now we should be seeing that quick catching up, because now U.S. embassies are back to business, they are opening up, they're scheduling the interviews, they're issuing those immigrant visas, so the bulletin will see starting to move again. But that wasn't the case. For most of the categories, it wasn't the case. And yes, including for the Philippines. So honestly, at this point, I mean, as of August 2023, we did see some okay movement for some of the categories. And then we saw some really bad movement. We've seen some retrogression for the F2A category, which honestly, it was really strange to see because F2A was one of the categories that was most always current. You have to understand that this is spouses and children under 21 of permanent residents. And, permanent residents, yes, of course, it's not citizen, but you're only 4 or 5 years away from a naturalization, being a naturalized citizen. So you're pretty much you're pretty much there. And to treat those people this way, if you look at the F2A now for all chargeability, it's 2017, which means it's 6 years. To petition for your wife, to petition for your child under 21, 6 years you have to wait, which is it's crazy. It really is crazy. And I know a lot of people are frustrated, and trust me, I am too, because if you guys Kills J, he's been subscribed to this channel for a long time now, but if you're new to this channel, I am an immigrant myself, and I do have an I-130 petition that I'm waiting on, that there haven't been any movement in a long time now. So I am just as much as you, we're in the same plate, and it frustrates me. And honestly, I wish there was the only thing that I can think of is that the damage that was done during the closures with the pandemic, it's just much worse than we expected. That's really the only thing that I can think of right now. But we will see. If anybody has an opinion here, on why Visa Bulletin is taking forever, drop it under Kills J question. And unfortunately I don't get the responses to the comments within the comments. I don't know why YouTube doesn't send me those responses, but if you submit a separate comment, I will definitely see it on any of the videos. You can submit it on yours, on this one. Okay, let's move on to the next comment question from Rock Punjabians 3882. My case status is received at local your office, so I'm assuming USCIS office, at March 4, 2010 at California, and still do not receive any further step. What should I do now? It has been too long. Please reply if you have time. Rock Punjabi, yes, of course I will reply. It's a blessing for me to be able to respond. So the very first thing I would recommend you do is check the processing time with that local USCS center. Are you sure that your case is outside of the normal processing time? How do you determine that? I'll show you on the official government website, USCS.gov, government website for U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. So from this page, this is the front page. You can find this link in the description below of this video, or I'll just post the link in my response comment to make it easier. So we're gonna click on Tools right here at the very top, navigation menu right here, Tools. We're gonna click on that, and then we're gonna scroll down. We're gonna go to Case Status Online. So here, obviously, you probably already know, you can check your case status. If you have the receipt number, which you should if you have the case with USCS, you're going to have your receipt number. You can enter it here, check the status, and see at which stage of the process the case is in. A lot of times it just says processing, be patient, wait, whatever, something generic, but still, you can do that. But we're going to scroll down to here, USCS processing times information. And we're going to click on this link right here. I will paste this link in my response. So you didn't tell me in your comment which application or petition you have with USCS, but whatever it is, you most likely, most of the petitions, most of the cases are here. Select whatever form number that you have with USCS. For example, let's say you have, I don't know, applied for naturalization. So N400, let's see, N400 is going to be different, probably not naturalization, but just for example purposes. Form category, application for naturalization, there's only one, and then you select the service center or the field office where your application is being processed. Now you told me that it is in California, so let's select something in California. Let's see, CA, can we find something in California? For example, I'm just giving you an example, Fresno, California. There we go. Get processing times and 9 months. And that's 80% of the cases, so I would recommend to be sure that you're not in that 20% of the cases that is either taking longer a little bit. It happens. Add another 10% of this on top of it. So if it's 9 months, count it 10 months. If you've been over 10 months, then something is definitely going on. And if you're for sure, after checking the processing time with USCS, if you're sure that your case is outside of normal processing times, then we're going to scroll down this page and you will see this inquire about a case outside normal processing time. I'm going to open it in a new tab and you will see what it looks like. Basically, it's just an online form that you will have to fill out. If it ever decides to load, let's see. So I'm going to paste this link right here for processing time so you can check the processing time first. And then if you're sure 100% that it's outside of the normal processing time, you're going to click on this inquire about the case status outside normal processing time. And this is still loading, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the response while that thing is loading. And even if it doesn't load, just give it a little bit of time. Sometimes USCIS, they do the maintenance on their website and stuff doesn't load. So it should definitely work, hopefully in the next couple hours. We'll see. I will leave it open. But basically it's just an online form where you put in your name, your information, your case information, and then you ask for, official inquiry. A lot of times USCS responds to those inquiries with a very generic response, something like, it's being processed, actively reviewed, something like that, whatever, that doesn't really answer your question. But at least you know that the case is there, it's with them, they're aware of the case, all right, nothing happened with the case. And if it takes longer, another, down the road, couple months, few months, and there's still nothing, and if you need to reach out to an attorney or need to reach out to some kind of, help, whether it's elected officials or maybe something, immigration practitioner, something along those lines, you have that correspondence that you sent to them for a request, and then they responded you, and it's still there is nothing going on. So that is definitely going to be help. Hopefully you will be able to get that resolved, and this is still not loading, so I don't know what's going on. All right, let's move for now to the next question from May Myers, Family Vlogs. Thank for info. I want to apply my sister Okay, well, go ahead. If you're a U.S. citizen, then you can definitely apply for your sister. You can, petition for your siblings to come here and live with you. It takes the longest. Trust me, I know that that's what I have. But you can definitely do that. In order to do that, you have to go to the official government website, USCIS, and then from this right here, you're going to click on Forms at the top of the navigation menu, Forms, All Forms. And then you will search for I-130. You can just type in 130, and there you go. It's available to file online. So at the moment, you can actually petition for your sister online. So it makes it much more convenient. You can find all of the information that you need here, instructions, application itself if you want to look at it as an example. But I actually do have multiple videos on this channel explaining how to fill out the I-130. So I would recommend you checking it out. But let me post my response here. Let's see this right here, and I will place in the link for that form I-130. Let's see, there we go, copy. Okay, all right, so let's move on to the next comment question from Cheiklo3844. Hi, thank you for your helpful tutorial. I'm assuming a copy of the appeal must be sent to the opponent ICE representative. Do we need to know his name? Okay, so if you're sending it to the, if I understand correctly, if I understand your question correctly, you're asking if, the correspondent, if you're sending a copy of the appeal, your correspondence, to the representative from ICE. No, in that case, you don't need to know their name. You are addressing it to ICE, and that's just good enough. You can say, dear sir or madam, here is the forwarded correspondence. If you're just basically for the sake of bureaucracy, letting know, then yes, no, in that case, you don't need to know their name. If I understand your comment correctly, but if you're doubting that I understood your comment correctly, please let me know in a separate comment, and I'll get back and I'll take a look and just want to make sure that I don't give something unnecessary. Okay, moving further to Traveling Melissa is asking, what about if I already have a USCS account? I logged into that one, but I am not able to update the address. So does this mean I need to create a new account? No, great question, Traveling Melissa. Thank you for asking. So you don't even need to have a USCS online account in order to submit. Well, you know what? I'm saying it from a couple years ago. Let me double check that myself. We're gonna go to AR. I'm pretty sure that online form that they had, it was literally just like one of those contact us, submit a case inquiry forms where it's just an online form. It already loads. You don't need to log into online account in order to open it up. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's see. Aliens change of address, file online. Let me click on this and we will be able to tell. Change of address. Have you filed an immigration related application petition, blah, blah, blah? Yes, I did. And that's true, I did. Okay, case information. So you're putting in the case here. Okay, no. So you definitely don't need, looks like it didn't change. You definitely do not need to have a USCS online account for this. And if you have one, that's fine. But you don't need to log into it and go through it in order to submit that form. All you really need to do is to have this form right here. And let me see if I can copy this. And so I can just paste it in the, I'm gonna paste this form, and that's it. It's just an online form which is not linked to an account. Submit it. Obviously, it would be helpful to log into your own USCS online account, and I don't think you post in your physical address in there. You only post the physical address into one of the petitions or applications. So honestly, you shouldn't even worry about the online account at all here. So let me post my answer here, and I'm gonna post a link for this page right here. Okay, all right, let's move on to the next question, comment from Roxana Cervantes 8356. Hello, what is the maximum employees a company can petition for? It's our first time, but business does meet all requirements. Roxana, thank you very much for your question. It's a great question. I don't think there are any limitations on the amount of the employees that you can petition for, but let me double check, because we're gonna go to USCS and I'll use it for demonstration purposes how easy it is to find information on USCS. You go to forms, all forms, Just type in 129 and petition for non-immigrant worker. There we go. Let's see. Go to instructions for form I-129. There we go. And I'm going to type in multiple. And that should give us, you may include on the same petition multiple aliens who seek admission into the class provided will be employed for the same period of time. So they have to be employed for the same exact period of time and perform the same services, receive the same training, or participate in the same international cultural exchange program. Okay, makes sense. So looks like we are good on that. No limitations so far. You may include, yep, that's the same. No limitation, you may include, that's, oh yeah, so I'm pressing the wrong button. That's what I'm doing. That's why it's, let's see if we, where is the Control F? Control F, there you go, multiple, that's it. There you go, okay, multiple locations, nope. Multiple locations. Filing multiple petitions, you generally may file one petition to request all of your H2A, H2B workers associated with one temporary labor certification. In case where filing separate petition is not required, it may be advantageous to file more than one. This occurs when you petition for multiple workers, some of whom may not qualify for part or all of the validity period you request. Okay. So in case if you might have, you know, options, if this is not enough, you can do it for, you can fill out multiple petitions just to be on the safe side. This petition most frequently occurs when some of the workers you request are not nationals of the country you request interrupted stays. At least one worker is nearing nope. Okay, so looks like no limitations so far. Let's go further. Multiple workers, multiple aliens. We already, yep. So yeah, no limitations at all. And whenever it comes to the application itself, I'm pretty sure you can tell that it is unlimited, because if you scroll all the way down, complete this section. If you're filing for nope, that's for religious. Complete the section for nope. Moving further, there we go. So attachment 1, attached to form I-129, when more than one person is included in the petition, list each person separately. Do not include the person you named on the form I-129. And there you go. Basically, as many attachments as you need, just print more and fill out more. So it looks like we have no limitations so far. Okay, so just for, you know, for a reference sake, I'm gonna paste this response here in your comment. There we go. And link. And that right here. And we're gonna move on to the next comment from Sunrise GP3OIM. Sunrise, thank you very much for another comment. Always appreciate it. Hi sir, have been well since last time. Yes, indeed it was. If you just post what's going on with you, also if you need prayers, appreciate it. Please tell us. We are family, even if you are on vacation. Let us know and won't bother you. I hope you're doing well. Sunrise, thank you very much. It means a lot. I appreciate it. It wasn't exactly vacation, but like I said, hopefully I should be back to a normal schedule. So I really, really appreciate your comment. It means a lot to me. Okay, moving further to Rabba Ben Bahta 4968. I have been living without an address for a year. Can this affect my immigration status? Okay, so yes and no. It really depends on the circumstances. If you don't have any kind of, you know, immigration petition, immigration application that is pending or anything like this, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You know, as an immigrant, circumstances, you don't have a permanent address. You know, I've been there. I started in this country as, you know, someone who came here as an adult, didn't know nothing. So I understand that it happens. Now, the only situations I can think of where it can affect your immigration status is where you have a petition, you have an application that is pending with USCIS, where you had an initial physical address mentioned in the application, because you have to have an address put into the application or a petition. You just can't send the petition without the address. They need to know where you are. And obviously they try to send you correspondence, they try to contact you at that address that you specified, and obviously because you don't live there anymore, now we have a problem because you missed certain appointments, certain whatever it is, depending on what kind of petition application it is. But if you have not had any kind of nothing with USCIS, and or maybe you're in between, whatever whatever your immigration path looks like, it's not gonna be a problem. I really don't see a problem. Can't think of anything. So hopefully this was helpful. Let's move on to the next question comment from Heidi Matos Hawkin. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing. 4798. Hi, I'm filling out this form online and it's not asking me for my children any help. Thanks. And it's not asking me for my children any help. Thanks. Yeah, application for temporary protected status. Okay, so you're filling out this application online. Let's see if it is available online at the moment, because I know they've been going through some changes on USCS website. They did have some maintenance works, at least last time I checked. Application for temporary, okay, we got it is available online. Let's see. Your eligible national protected last. Okay, yes, when filing an issue. What I'm trying to find now is if you do need to file a separate I-821 application for each individual that is applying, even if it's a child. That might be the case. That might be the situation. If you're, let's see, children. Let's see, dependents. Do we have dependents? Am I spelling it correctly? Something is weird. No dependent on the application. Okay. Okay. Children. Okay. Each person seeking TPS must apply for him or herself on separate form I-821. There is no derivative TPS status, meaning that your spouse, children, or parents cannot obtain TPS as a result of your approval for TPS. Okay, that answers your question right here. So you have to submit a separate I-821 online in order to petition for your children. Unfortunately, it's a little bit, I don't know why they did it this way, but that's the case. So there you go. We found our answer. I'm going to place the answer here. So just fill out another online application for each of your child, and that should solve the problem. So I'm going to post this. Yeah, I would post the instructions, but I don't know if you will be able to find this particular one. But this is on page 2. If you want to check it out yourself, it's on page 2 under does my spouse, child, or parent have to file a form I-821. And I'm going to paste this link right here, and you can find these instructions under forms and document right here in this drop tab or whatever it's called. So let me post this, and we're gonna move on to the next question comment from Carla Lopez 7016. Hi, I'm hoping you can answer my question. On the COVID vaccine, do you need to be fully vaccinated 2 doses, or will the Moderna bivalent 1 dose work to get my green card? They're telling me that since of April of 2023 it changed to 1 dose, but I don't know if that will work. Carla, well, if that's the case, then it's definitely great news. Honestly, I would hope that they would get rid of this completely from the requirement. Since when do we need the flu vaccines for the green card application? So hopefully they'll get rid of it completely. But I haven't heard anything personally about the requirement. So let's check. Let's check on USCS. You can find that information. I'm pretty sure you can find that information here. Medical exam. Can't spell exam. COVID. There we go. COVID vaccination required for immigration medical exam. So there you go. Vaccination requirements. Here we go. This is what we need. So this is the stuff. So still says for COVID. Let's see if there's anything else regarding for COVID. So COVID is still required as far as we can tell from this. Let's see. I don't want to copy COVID word. Let's see the final word. COVID. There you go. COVID vaccine. Certain vaccine series can only be completed with multiple visits to the civil surgeon. Am I required to complete the entire series before the civil surgeon can sign? You are only required to receive a single dose of each vaccine when you visit the civil surgeon. You are encouraged to follow up with your private healthcare provider to complete the series. Once you have received the single dose appropriate at the time, the civil surgeon can sign and certify the form I-693. The COVID-19 vaccine is the exemption to this requirement. You must complete the COVID-19 vaccine primary series, for example, 1 or 2 doses depending on which vaccine in adult, 2 or 3 doses depending on age and which vaccine in children, and provide documentation of vaccination to the civil surgeon in person. So unfortunately it still is required, looks like both, which is ridiculous. I've said it many times and I'll say it again. It's absolutely ridiculous that they require this. Honestly, any vaccination for the immigration purposes, but fine, whatever. But the COVID vaccine, that is, yeah, okay. So I'm gonna post this. I'm very sorry, Carla. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case. I checked from the official sources, but so far that looks like the case. Okay, let's move on to the next question comment from SDU 500. Can you please do a version wherein a US citizen will petition for his parent who is currently in the US on a tourist visa? Okay, SDU 500, thank you for the request. Yes, well, why not? I think I can definitely do that. But basically, it's same exact thing for the most part. You really are not doing much different. The only thing that you can do differently is that because your parent is here in the US, you can submit the form I-130 and the form 485, I-485, which is the application for permanent residence to adjust status. You can submit them together as a one application package. You don't have to. Honestly, I don't think it really speeds up the case. I don't really see much purpose in submitting both in one application package. But you can, because the beneficiary is here in the US. That's really the only difference. But for the most part, everything else is exactly the same as described in, well, not this video, but if you want to see the actual process of, from beginning to the end, I actually do have the video on this channel, from the very scratch to the very interview, where I describe the steps, dealing with the, with the interview, obviously medical examination, so far, so forth. So I'm gonna post my answer here, and yes, I will definitely consider doing one of those videos. If that would be helpful, then I can definitely take care of that. Okay, let's move on to the next question comment. Looks like we got a Visa Bulletin question. I'm gonna click read more. Hi sir, F22, so that's F2 second preference, family preference category. Priority date is February 2016, documentarily qualified April 2022. Under CSPA, okay, may I ask what can I expect with this month of August? Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you very much for your question, ZGM3513. I don't think I said the name. Appreciate your comment, the question. So let's take a look at the Visa Bulletin and see what's going on. Since your priority date is back in 2016 already, and since you are already documentarily qualified, well, more than a year ago now, I think you really are close to the interview. So let's take a look at the F2A. It looks like it is 2017, October 2017. You know what I'm going to ask you? What is your chargeability area? Because the only thing that I can think of, because you were already, I would say, overdue, unless you had some kind of delays in your case. For example, when you were becoming documentarily qualified, you submitted a document and it was not accepted on the first submission, and then you had to submit something else or something along those lines, and they caused a delay, maybe. Or the other thing that I can think of, maybe your chargeability area is in Mexico, because if it is in Mexico, then you do have another extra year. Unfortunately for Mexico, for F2A, that's the only chargeability area that has that extra year of backlog of waiting. But even if your chargeability area is in Mexico and there was no delay, September 2016, you are in February 2016, you are about, well, let's see, what is it, 2 and then 9, so about 7 months. So 6-7 months, you're away from the availability of the immigrant visa. Honestly, I'm really hoping to see some movement, some finally good movement for everyone on the Visa Bulletin. And when I say good movement, I mean stable movement, at least 1 month every month. 1 month, new Visa Bulletin comes out, we see 1 month movement. Another month, Visa Bulletin comes out, we see another month's movement. That's a good steady pace. Not, retrogressing and going back like we've seen in, in the F2A, especially in this past Visa Bulletin issue. So yes, again, if you're Mexico chargeability area, another 7 months roughly you're going to be waiting. And if you are in all chargeability on one of the other chargeability areas, then you really should be like anytime now we're talking about the interview. What I would recommend doing is reach out to the local US embassy, and actually I'm gonna post the response, and I'm gonna give you a link where you can find the US embassy in your country. Give them a call. So let's see, usembassy.gov. There you go, official government website, and all the countries, whatever country you're from, click on it. Let's say, for example, Iraq. I'm gonna click on this, and we're gonna see the U.S. Embassy in Iraq. There you go, in Baghdad, and here's the phone number. So just call them up, not these guys, but obviously the U.S. Embassy in your country. Call them up and say, hey, I'm already documentarily qualified. Judging by the Visa Bulletin, if you are in all chargeability area, then your immigrant visa should already be available. And ask them when the interview was scheduled for, because I'm pretty sure if you're all chargeability or any other chargeability but Mexico, your immigrant visa should be available. So your interview should already be scheduled. And the only reason why you're not getting the notice is because you're not 30 days before the interview just yet, but I'm pretty sure it's already scheduled. Sometimes they give you that information, sometimes they don't. Don't be too upset if they don't. It's at their discretion, but I've known some cases where people called and they were nice on the phone, and person from the embassy was nice on the phone, and they were actually able to tell them when the interview was scheduled. So thank you everyone for your questions and comments today. So from today's video release, I'm gonna start actually posting instead of answering your immigration related questions, I'm gonna post a few major, I would say, questions that are answered in the video, just so that it is easier to navigate for previous editions, for people that have not seen the videos, just so they can quickly find the answers to some of the questions that are being asked on this channel, instead of just simply putting the volume number and then people just trying to find the right information for them. So I think it would be better, but let me know if you have any suggestions. I would always be open to hearing them. Again, thank you very much for your time. God bless, and I'll see you all in the next video.